given where the country was 9 months ago, there has been huge progress. There's plenty to be done, but there has been progress. And under the program that we have signed with the Central African Republic back in July, the first set of commitments, undertakings, reforms have been concluded. The first review has been approved by the board. The first disbursement has taken place. So we are on that journey with the Central African Republic. And my hope is that for the next review, again, the reforms will have been done, progress will have been made, and the people will actually see change on the ground.
The government just recently passed a new budget, quite a large budget, about 11% going to the military. What are your thoughts on that? And suddenly, how does it impact the funding program that you set up with the country?
You know, without security, there cannot be any development. For entrepreneurs to invest, for institutions to work, for people to have confidence, there has to be peace, there has to be security. So for that, clearly military forces are needed. The United Nations is doing a lot and has done a lot, but clearly the country needs to have sovereignty and extend the circle within which it has control and authority over the country.
Now, quickly on the CEMAC region, you met with the leaders last year in Yaoundé. Any change in the IMF's engagement there? Are we going to see some new lines of credit opening in some of those countries? And I'd like to add that the IMF was widely expected to recommend a devaluation of the Central African franc. Where do you stand on that as well?
I was really impressed when I visited Yaoundé on December 23rd, just before Christmas, to see the collective determination of the leaders of the 6 different member states of CEMAC to actually take the economic destiny in their hands and to move forward with reforms and with a collective decision to consolidate in spite of 2 things which have really plagued those economies. One is much lower oil prices and the security threat which affects most of them. To do that, they need help, and they have all collectively determined to come to the IMF and to ask for our support. So the IMF stands ready, and we have begun the work with some of them, stands ready to give them help, to assist with the economic policies, with the management of public finance, with the strengthening of the banking authorities in order to accumulate reserve and in order to stand solidly on the basis of what has brought them great stability over the years. And I'm talking here about the joint currency. And I can assure you that the IMF is not and was not considering any kind of depreciation. Quite to the contrary, what is needed is to avoid that kind of possibility.
Now, lastly, I want to ask you a slightly personal question. You're a great woman leader globally. Also, you're one of the few IMF leaders that have paid quite a lot of attention to Africa. So I would like to get some insight into what are some of the targets you'd like to achieve here on the continent.
I don't think that I'm the only managing director of the IMF to pay attention to Africa. Others have done that in the past. But I'm particularly concerned because it's a region of the world which is growing, which is young, which has huge potential, where women need space and need to be allowed to contribute to the economy and to have full benefit of their massive talent. And I believe that somebody who is outside Africa, because we play a multilateral role and we represent the international community, should be on the ground on a regular basis to actually give support and encourage those developments.